So students, today I am going to talk about lymph. The chapter is about body fluids and circulation. So one of the important body fluid, that is blood, the components, the properties, all we have already explained or discussed. Now the topic is about lymph. It's then another body fluid which is colorless. Okay. So first here I have drawn a simple hypothetical diagram. Just try to understand. Suppose these are the cells of similar structure, origin and function. Okay, these are some adjacent cells of same structure, origin and function, and here this is the blood capillaries through which blood can easily passes. Okay, now what happened? Some of the from the blood, water, and in the water some of water soluble substances here move out. See, move out, and they stores in the places just between the cells. So this is the blood that flow through the capillaries, and but from here water and some water soluble substances moves out and stores in the space between these cells. See, here it is stored. Okay, and this fluid means water with water soluble substances that are stored in these spaces is called interstitial fluid. What is called interstitial fluid. Why it is called interstitial fluid? Because the spaces where these water and water soluble substances are stored is the interstitial space. Means the space just between the adjacent cells. So here this liquid or this water and water soluble substances are stored in these spaces between these cells. That's why it is called interstitial fluid, or also called tissue fluid. Why? Because in this tissue, in a particular tissue, these are the cells which form the tissue. The cells of same structure, origin and function combine with each other and that forms the tissue, and in the tissue they are stored in between the cells. That's why it is also called tissue fluid. Okay, but in this tissue fluid there is no proteins are present, and most of the form elements are also absent. Okay, here no proteins. Formed element means in the blood there are so many formed elements present, but here no large proteins or form, only water soluble substances are move out. Okay, but see, the mineral distribution of the tissue fluid means that in the tissue fluid the minerals that are present, they are same as plasma. Means mineral distribution is absolutely same with plasma, but there is no proteins and formed elements. As this wall is very thin, some of the nutrients and respiratory gases also exchange, okay, through this fluid. Means nutrients and gaseous exchange also occurs through this fluid. Now this tissue fluid is collected by lymphatic vessels. Lymphatic vessels collect these tissue fluids, and then it drains into a major vein, and then it is called lymphatic fluid. Okay, or lymph. This tissue fluid is collected by network of vessels which is called lymphatic vessels. Then lymphatic vessels, what they do, they drain this fluid into major veins, and now it is called lymph. Okay, there are several lymphocytes are present. We all know that lymphocytes have able to protect our body, and they fight against the external pathogens, and means they helps in body defense. Okay, lymph are also the carrier for nutrients, hormones. Means through lymph they also carry different kind of nutrients, food, hormones. That's why they are called carrier of nutrients or hormone, similar to the blood plasma. And also some fats are absorbed through this lymph. Yes, some fats are absorbed through this lymph, where in the listal in intestinal villi. It has been already we have explained in the digestion absorption chapter. So these are the properties of lymph, and lymph is colorless body fluid. Why? Because in the blood. Why it is red in color blood? Due to the presence of RBCs, where hemoglobin pigment is present, but it is devoid of any kind of formed elements. That's why it means RBCs not are present here, and it is colorless fluid. So this is the lymph. Here I have tried to explain it in most of the easiest way, and the diagram that I have drawn is a hypothetical diagram to understand the topic. Okay.